Hi there, I'm Anya from Peony and Time, which is a small shop for knitwear and knitting patterns. You can find me on Etsy, on Instagram, and on Facebook, all at Peony and Time. I'm most active on Instagram though because it's my favorite. So today's video is about picking up dropped stitches, because I'm sure we've all had that terrible moment where you do a stitch count and realize you're a stitch shy of where you're supposed to be, or maybe you're trying to knit a stitch, it falls off your needle, it unravels a couple stitches below, things spiral wildly out of control. Things happen. Fixing that problem does not have to be the end of the world. You do not have to rip out a bunch of rows of hard-earned stitches just to fix that. It can be pretty easy. So I wanted to make you a quick video and show you how. So for this example, I just knit up a small swatch, and then you can see a stitch fell out about 3 rows. So instead of having to rip out all of these stitches all the way back 3 rows and starting from scratch there, all I have to do is find out where that live stitch is. It's pretty obvious to see there is this little guy right here. And grab a crochet hook, put it right through the middle of that live stitch. Now the important thing here is you want to make sure that you don't accidentally split the yarn right in the middle. If you do that, it's going to make it look really messy. So all the way through, make sure you have all of the yarn, and then you're just going to look here, do a little detective work. You're going to see that there are 3 separate ladders there. 1, 2, 3. And the ladder is just this piece of yarn that connects one stitch to the next, and this lets you know that exactly 3 rows of stitches fell out there. So you have your live stitch on your crochet hook, and you're just going to look really carefully and find out which ladder is closest to the live stitch. This bottom one here, and you are going to put your crochet hook over top of it, grab it, and then pull it carefully right through that stitch. Now, it is really important to be super picky and careful to make sure that you got the whole piece of yarn and that you're pulling it just through the right place, otherwise it is going to end up looking sloppy. So just be slow and very careful. That's definitely the name of the game here. So the next step will be picking up that second ladder and pulling it through that stitch just like we did for the first one. But stop and take a look at this live stitch here for a second. If I just go ahead and grab that second ladder like this, it is going to twist the stitch around. So I am going to carefully take the crochet hook out, and then look at that. You want to make sure it is laying flat, and then put this right through the center again, and find that second ladder. Again, carefully go over top, snag it, pull it right through. You want to just kind of carefully adjust it a little bit just so that you can make sure that the yarn is getting pulled through evenly. Again, same thing. Gonna carefully hold this, take this crochet hook out, make sure that stitch is laying flat, and put it through the center again, being careful that you don't split the yarn. And then you have one last ladder right there at the top. Again, go over with your crochet hook, snag it, pull it carefully right through. Also, another note there, when you're pulling that through, just make sure that you're not pulling it under any other ladder. And again, you need to just make sure you're being really slow and precise. There's no rush. You just want to make sure that you're doing it really accurately. Okay, and so now look, we've caught up with all of our other stitches. So all I'm going to do is push this left-hand needle over just a little bit, and then I'm going to put this stitch right onto the end of that needle. An important note here is that in order to get this to lay nicely flat, you are going to have the right side of your loop on the front of the needle. Put it on there, and then it'll be laying just like all of your other stitches. Alright, and then I can continue knitting across just like normal. Alright, and so you can see here, since we were just really nice and slow and precise when we did that, you can't even tell that there was a dropped stitch. It just looks nice and even. Alright, and that is it, guys. Alright, I hope that was clear and helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave me a note in the comments below, and I will try to clarify if I can. Also, I have a couple of really fun collaborations in the works that I'm very excited to tell you about, and some videos will be rolling out about those in the next few weeks. So if you're interested, please check back at the channel or subscribe so you can get notified, and I'm very excited to show you guys what I have been working on. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.